Hi, my name is Garrett Mintz, and I am the founder of Ambition in Motion. Ambition in Motion helps college students gain real-world experiences before they graduate. Right now, higher education is in a bubble. There's been decreased enrollment in higher education for 5 consecutive years. What ultimately the problem Ambition in Motion is solving is the fact that college students are going to college having no idea what they want to do with their career. And what this leads to is students pursuing majors based on misinformation about how much they think they're going to earn in their career and what type of work they're going to be doing. And ultimately, this leads to them pursuing majors that do not interest them. When students pursue majors that don't interest them, they end up jobs they despise. Sometimes we call this the millennial problem, but I call this the misinformation problem. When students don't have enough information to choose their careers wisely, it leads to them turning over at those companies. And in fact, 71% of recent college graduates turn over within 1 year. And this affects the US economy because it essentially costs employers $30.5 billion annually to pay for this turnover. So to put this into an individual perspective, if I'm a company hiring 3 positions and I'm looking at 10 applicants, it's going to cost me $18,000 just to consider those 10 applicants, and within 1 year, 2 out of those 3 people are going to be gone. The way Ambition in Motion works is we partner with universities to connect their students with alumni for mentorship. The reason why universities are attracted to this is because it helps avoid alumni losing touch and students not having access to their full network of what they could potentially gain in their college career. We then match them using our unique technology to match students with alumni based on compatibility. Imagine eHarmony for mentorship. We then take data from those mentor relationships, essentially a work assessment that the mentor gives of the student, to then transfer that data to employers so that employers can make an educated hiring decision about which students are the right fit for their company. Ultimately, employers can use this as a weed out tool to see who are the students of the right fit for their company because they're gathering information from their mentorships about who is the right fit. And the reason why we know that these students are invested is because we charge them. Our pricing model works like this. We don't in fact charge universities to use our service. In fact, we give it away for free. But we charge students $50 per student per semester to use the service. What this does is it ensures that students are fully invested. They've got skin in the game to ensure that their mentorship is taken as seriously as possible. This stands extremely valuable to employers because if you look at maybe some other people in this space, let's say Handshake, who recently raised a $20 million Series B round with Spark Capital, their focus is on getting as many students in their system as possible. Their focus is on getting as many students to apply for jobs, use their system, and just get in their system as possible. With Ambition in Motion, we're taking a more precise perspective on this. Essentially, we want to make sure that these students are highly focused and are concerned about learning more about their career path. This is something we've identified that employers value because it makes it easier for them to identify who is the type of student that fits with their company culture. And if they can identify that before the interview process has started, they can save themselves tons of time and money. What sets Ambition in Motion apart is our unique technology, our speed to market, and different regulatory changes. So from our unique technology perspective, we have an algorithm to identify who the best student to mentor match is. Whether we're matching 100 students, 1,000 students, 100,000 students, we can handle that in a matter of seconds. So it makes it really easy for us to identify who the best mentor to student match is. We also have an algorithm for identifying who the best applicant matches are for employers. This saves employers tons of time in their review process because as opposed to having to weed through a bunch of resumes, weed through a bunch of applications, we can say, hey, here are the students that fit your profile best. From a speed to market perspective, universities pose a risk of changing their mentorship platform in terms of the mentorship attrition that might occur if they change platforms. Essentially, mentors might leave if the university reaches out to them and says, hey, we're changing mentorship platforms. From a student perspective, if they choose to use a different mentorship platform, they risk losing all the work assessment data we've collected from them from their mentors. And from an employer standpoint, they risk the time wasted of trying to set up a new profile and a new system to have to collect more data on more people. For our perspective, if we can help these employers gather data that's really rich, really precise, we can then help make their hiring process a lot easier. And then from a regulatory standpoint, GDPR compliance and data requisite compliance rules have recently changed as of May 25th, 2018. Essentially, If companies are taking data and using it in ways that the users don't know about, you can't do that anymore. So you have to change your terms of service agreement or potentially know your current service agreements with your current customers if you are breaking those rules. We are currently compliant with that. So this allows us to continue doing our operations. Our team has 3 components: sales, development, and operations. I'm our sole salesperson. Our development team consists of John Mark Massey and Whitney Tennant. John Mark's our lead developer, and Whitney is our development operations project manager. Kyle Bradley and Jake Ori are essentially our research leads. They are essentially helping us create our algorithm and help us improve our algorithm. They both have a background in industrial organizational psychology as well as behavioral psychology. And then Priya Thomas is our operations lead. Her role is to help ensure that all of our students are having a fantastic experience and that we're constantly leveraging and making the most of each one of those individual contracts that we have with each individual university. So we are seeking to raise $200,000. What we need that money for is we need to put it towards sales, development, and operations. In terms of a sales perspective, we need to hire on a full-time salesperson so then we can ramp up our sales fast. We need to get out there, as this is a market that is constantly getting added into. So more companies are jumping into this market and we need to get out there faster. Our goal is to get 500 active student users in one career vertical. By that I just mean 500 active students either in engineering or in sales or in finance or in HR, essentially one career vertical that we can then sell to employers. That will help us get our company off the ground and launch to where we want it to be. From a development perspective, we want to get a full-time salesperson and a part-time project manager on our staff. Essentially, we need to build out more technologies that will help improve our student and employer user experiences. And lastly, from an operations perspective, we need a full-time operations person to focus on amplifying our student experience so then every student is having a fantastic time and this program is growing organically. For us to get to that 500 active student users, not only do we need to get new contracts with universities, but we need to make sure that our current contract with those universities are going excellently. Ultimately, Ambition in Motion is here to help students gain real-world experiences and give them an opportunity to stand out beyond their resume and cover letter, to help universities engage students and alumni in new ways, and to help employers save time in the recruitment process. Thank you so much for listening to my pitch.